Hello, it is Millboy here. So today I'm going to show you how to make your own merchant for Skyrim using the creating kit. And well, yeah, let's get started. So remember guys, first thing you always do is go to File, Data, double click Skyrim.esm and click OK. I've already done it to save time, so I'm going to click Cancel. So now, the first thing I'm going to do is make a merchant chest. So the way we do this is in the object window, go into the World Objects category and go into Container. And here we have all the containers in the game. But we're just looking for chests, so we want to go to the filter at the top and type in chest. Once we've done that, we have all the chests. So now, what you can do is actually right click and new to make a new chest here, but there's one slight problem. It's you might have some trouble trying to find the model for the chest. So the easiest way to just do this is just scroll down right to the bottom, and the best chest I found is the WE merchant chest. It's just a basic chest with no items in, etc. You know, just basic chest, and just duplicate this. So right click, duplicate, and now we have a nice copy at the bottom. So what we want to go and do is double click or right click and edit to open that. And now the first thing we want to go and do is change the ID. So we're going to type in mod, because you know I just always do that. So mod, and then let's think of something really original. I know, merchant chest. How original is that? Now onto name. You might actually not need to do this because with the way that I'm doing it is, well, basically, and the way it's mostly done in Skyrim, is the actual merchant chest is like out of view, and the player can't actually reach it. So you'll never get to see the name anyway. But you know, if you really want to, like I'm going to do now, I'm just going to do this in case I want to put it in view or something like that. So once you've done that, you don't really need to do anything else here, and then you want to move on into the middle. So if you've ever watched like my making an NPC tutorial, when we're going through the NPC inventory, this is very similar now. To add an item here, you just right click, new, and then you use this little drop down menu to change what it is. So if I want a katana, I'll just do that, and there you go, it's in the chest now. So but what I do recommend though is there's something called leveled item. So leveled item, here we go. So basically what this is the higher the level of the player, the better the actual item. So if I do like leveled item all special, so it'll be like a random piece of armor, and depending on the level, that will depend on like how good the armor is. So if you come down to the bottom, it says preview calculated result and preview level. So if my level's 1 and I go to the merchant, I'll probably get this when I click this button. So I'll click it, and I'll probably get armor imperial light helmet. So, and it's worth 35 gold, as you see at the bottom. So if I close that and put level 100 now and click it again, I've got steel gauntlets. Of course you can still have some rubbish things. If I click close and preview again, now that's it, worth a bit more. Click it again, now that's 25. There we go, so there's a good one. An Albany helmet, 750. So it is completely random, but the higher level you are, the higher chance you've got of getting a really expensive item. So if you want to add more than one, there's a count here, which is how many the merchant has. So I'm going to put like 30 in, and then click preview as a level 100, and like there's all the armor that he's got in stock. So then what I'm going to do is close now and just add what items you want. So you can add just items on the road, or you can add leveled items, which I recommend. So I'm just going to have loads of armor like that. And then once you've done that, you just click OK. And it says, do you want to create a new form? No, because we just duplicated one. We're not editing another. So click no. And then it says, are you sure? And you click yes. So once you've done that, what we actually want to go and do first is put this chest into the world. So make sure you know where you want to go and put your merchant, because this is where we're going to put the chest. So I'm going to put my merchant in the Riverward Sleeping Giant Inn, I believe it is. So I'm just going to type in Riverward, there we go, scroll down, Sleeping Giant Inn. So you know, just double click when you find a place, and then you simply put this chest in here. So you can put it inside, but that means the player will have access to the merchant's chest. So unless you put like a lock on it or something, then that's a bad idea. So what most people do, as you can see here, if I click on this chest here that's already there, This is the Merchant Riverwood chest. So this is the chest to the bar guy who is in here. If I can go over to him, as you can see, that's him there. You can like buy beer or food or whatever. That's his chest where he keeps all his items. So we're just going to go and do the same thing. So we're going to get our chest now. So we want to type in. We named it with the ID of mod merchant chest. So I'm going to type in mod, and there it is. So we simply click and drag, and there we go. Here it is. So I'm just going to drag that back a bit, take it down a level. There we go. Actually up maybe, and just put that there. It doesn't really matter where, just put it so it's not inside. And once you've done that, we're ready to move on to making a merchant faction. So the way we do that is if we delete our filter first, and we want to go into the character category and into faction. So here what we're going to do, we can actually just right click any now and click new, and we'll have something like this. And what we want to go and do is give it an ID, of course. So I think of something fairly original like merchant faction. There we go. Yeah, spell that right, just checking. Name, whatever you want, this doesn't really matter. You don't even need to put one if you don't. I'm just going to call it John's Merchant Faction. Now the only thing you need to do here is can be owner. You can do other things, but I recommend if you're making a merchant faction, just do exactly what I'm doing. So can be owner, then ignore ranks, ignore crime, and just go straight over to vendor. So here we want to tick this little box which tells this faction that it's a vendor faction. And now we have start hour and end hour. So this is basically the opening times of our merchant. So what times do actually be selling things. So at the start hour, if you put that as 0 and you put the end as 24, that basically puts him as like, you know, a merchant all the time. Because as soon as he hits midnight, it's going to be, you know, his next day of working. So, but if you want to do something like, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night, then you can do that if you want. But I'm just going to do all day. So here, the next thing is location. So this is basically what area he is a merchant in. So if I click edit here now, you can put like near a certain location or like that you choose in a certain cell. But if you just want him to always be a merchant where you put him, just click near self. So whenever he's near himself, he'll be a merchant. And I don't know about you, but I'm always near myself. So click that and click OK. And there you go. Radius you can leave the same. And now onto vendor buy or sell list. This is basically what he's allowed to buy or sell. So for instance, if you go to like a blacksmith in the game, they won't buy certain items. They'll only buy like apparel and weapons because they're a blacksmith. So the way they do that is you type in vendor here, and as you see, the only ones you want to click here is the ones that start with vendor items, or because the other ones won't work at all. So like I was saying before, the blacksmith ones, they use vendor items blacksmith because they only sell armor and weapons, and they only buy armor and weapons. So or like other goods like what's called like iron ingots and other things like that. So if you want to do that, you can. So you know, say I want to like sell some jewelry or buy jewelry, click that one, and it'll only be able to sell and buy jewelry. But what if you're like, I want to just sell loads and loads of different things? So what you can do is go to vendor items Misc and click that. Now you're probably thinking, well, that means I can only buy and sell Misc items. Well, actually, if you tick this little box underneath called not sell by, this basically, like the item you selected here is the only thing the vendor cannot sell or buy. So the Misc things are like bowls and goblets and plates and stuff like that. So they don't really matter. So if you do that, more or less can sell anything. The next thing you want to go and do is move over to merchant container. So the merchant container is the chest that we made before. So what we're going to do is click select reference and render window. So click that, and then it'll switch to the render window and ask us to select our chest. So we find our chest, ours is here, and we simply want to find it and double click it. Make sure it's the right one though, or you have different items. So once you've done that, that's it really for the faction, and you can go ahead and click OK. So now for the best bit, guys, we get to go and make our merchant. So I'm just going to do this quickly. If you want to really know how to make an NPC, you can watch my previous tutorials. So I'm just going to click actor, and what you do to make an NPC, you right click new, And then, like always, we give it an ID. So mod, I'm going to call him John. The name, so his full name, John. I'm going to call him the Armor Man. So I'll always know who he is. Short name, John. Unique, because we're not going to duplicate him like guards and stuff. Essential, actually, nah, because I might want to kill him after. Now, race. So we all know this. I'm going to give him an Argonian vampire. Click preview full. Looks pretty cool. Got no clothes. We'll have to change that in a minute. But basically, the only things you need to do in here is if you go to factions now, the only thing you need to do is give him the factions that we've made. So right click new. I want you to type in the ID of your faction that you made earlier. So mine was a mod merchant faction. So I'm going to click on that and click OK. Now once you've done that, there's only one more faction we need to add. So right click new and type in merchant. And now we need to give him job merchant faction. So this basically tells the NPC that his job is being a merchant. So once you've done that, we can move on and you can customize other things. But that's basically it. If you want him to be a merchant, that's all you need to change. But I'm just going to give him some armor. The ones I like is this one. You know, the guy who's in the Oblivion Shivering Isles. Here we go. That looks pretty nice. So once you've, sorry about that. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and click OK, and then all we need to do is actually put him into the world. So this needs to be, remember, your NPC needs to be in the same place as you put the chest. So let's just zoom in and find somewhere to place him. So once you've done that, let's find our NPC. Here we go, Mod John. So let's click and drag. Place them in. Oh, if you get any warnings, you click yes to all the time, and then there he is. So let's drop him down and rotate him a bit, and there we go. Of course he's going to wander around, but you can make a package to make him not walk around, but that's for another tutorial. So once you've done that, that's it, guys. So you know, the only thing left is to save. So I'm going to save this as a really original name, John. Click save and well, that's it. Our merchant is now in the game. So I'll see you there to see if it's actually worked. Okay guys, so here we are outside the Sleeping Giant Inn in Riverwood, where we placed our merchant. So you know, let's go in and see if he's working all right. Here we go. Oh, let's see. Oh, there he is, our nice Argonian. You know, his tail through the seat, but whatever. John the Armor Man, let's have a little talk.
It is planning on starting a fire.
What's this? What have you got for sale? Yep, let me click you.
Take a look.
Take a look, he says. Oh, here we go. Apparel. Here's all the armor he's selling. I'm a fairly highish level. Well, not really. But you know, I've got some nice armor here. Dwarven armor, like elven armor, etc. Pretty nice, and I can buy it. So I clicked, I want to buy this now. Oh, thank you very much. I'll get a boot, a helmet, and a shield. So that works pretty good. So yeah, that's about it, guys. There is how to make a merchant for Skyrim, so you can do other things and start building your own little mod now with things you've learned. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorials. Be sure to check out my next one, and well, I'll see you next time.